great place to be. A great place to learn.
A great place for education.
This is BB 101 Radio. Breaking barriers.
Welcome to the show. I am Shay.
And I am Kervin.
And this is
BB 101 Radio.
Today we're going to be talking about different things in English, partner. And first, I would like to ask you, how are you today?
Well, I'm good. I am astonished. I am flabbergasted.
Oh, there are lots of words. Indeed, English adds up a lot of things or variety in your speech.
Exactly.
Well, partner, let us greet our viewers today all over Europe and Asia.
Yeah, especially in Spain, from Galicia, Barcelona, Valencia to Malaga, and everywhere in Spain.
Exactly. Catch up with us in the next 30 minutes of our show. Only here at BB 101 Radio.
Learning English is definitely one of the most in-demand activities these days. To be globally competitive means to be fluent in English. It opens more doors and opportunities, especially for non-native English speakers.
Exactly. And the question is, why learning is difficult to learn, right? Or why English is difficult to learn? And what is the hardest part of learning the English language? That could be one of the questions or some of the questions that students are asking to themselves.
Right, don't worry, we are going to discuss those things in Learners Talk It Out session, a 15-minute program that discusses insightful ideas about learning the English language.
Exactly. So, do you have any insights or comments, sentiments about our topic for today? For your comments, suggestions, or reactions, just comment down below and get involved.
Stay tuned here at BB 101 Radio, and coming up next is our segment, Talk It Out Grammar, after a short break.
Grammar. One word, but seems too complicated. Languages around the world have certain rules to follow, and English is of no exception. Most non-native speakers have difficulty in mastering the structure of the language. Well, to make it simpler, it takes long years of continuous study and practice to master any structure of any second language. Is it too confusing or nerve-wracking for you? You need help, and we are here for you. So how do we do the classes here at FitsLanguage.com? Personalized and individualized instructions are our key advantage. We are focusing on your weaknesses in this area and transforming it as your strengths. With our one-on-one teaching approach, a great percentage of success is surely attainable. Our competent teachers are here to give you what you need in English grammar. So come and join us here at FitsLanguage.com.
Welcome back, and you're still listening to BB 101 Radio, and I'm still here, Jay.
And
Yes, partner, we are going to talk about top 3 phrasal verbs today.
yeah, top 3 phrasal verbs. So let me ask you, what do you have in mind for them?
Alright, top 3 phrasal verbs that have similar meanings. So sometimes students get things mixed up with the usage of words, especially those phrasal verbs that are a little bit difficult to memorize, right? So first, I have one in mind, partner, that is pass out.
Pass out.
Right. What do you know about the meaning of pass out?
Believe it's when you're drunk, you faint, you lose consciousness.
Okay, that's cool. So when was the last time that you passed out?
Just yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
I passed out yesterday.
Yeah, perhaps it's because it's a weekend yesterday, right?
Yes.
So how did you start your Monday?
Yeah, I started my Monday by passing out last weekend.
Okay, that's cool. But it's not a good idea though. Yeah, it's not good on Monday, right? And we have another meaning for that. When we say pass out, it is also to give, right? Or to distribute something. Like, can you pass out something to the people outside listening to us? Right? So that could be an example of words, let's say phrasal verbs that have similar meanings. How about you? Do you have one in mind? So get involved and comment down below. And what else, partner? Aside from pass out, what other phrasal verbs do you have in mind?
Well, we have here blow up. Have you ever
Blow
heard of that?
Blow up, yeah. So what do you have in mind when it comes to the meaning?
When we say blow out, you get extremely angry very quickly. But let me improve that. Instead of saying extremely angry, let's use the word furious.
Oh, that's a good word. Yes, furious. We normally put very, right? To say that we are extremely angry, or if we want to add that up in a specific vocabulary or adjective. So we have lots of words that we can use instead of very, right?
That's right. So blow up, explode in anger.
All right. Do you normally feel that?
No, I'm a calm person.
Really?
I'm always relaxed.
How about when you're drunk?
I passed out, so I'm relaxed. So I have no time to blow up.
Okay, so it's a different feeling.
Yes. Now I have in mind like pick up. Have you? Who would please discuss that?
Pick up?
Yeah.
It's more like, what I have in mind is when you're gonna pick up something. It's when it's on the ground or on the floor and you're gonna pick it up. Is that what you have in mind as well?
Well, I have a car, and when you have to pick someone to
Okay.
a particular place, is
All right. Yes, that could be another meaning of the word or the phrasal verb pick up.
Yes.
Right? So it has the same meaning. The first one from you.
Yeah.
What was that one?
well, it's to get someone in your car. It's to pick up someone.
To pick up someone.
Or
And
sorry, we can also use like pick someone up.
to pick someone up, yes,
Yes.
that's another meaning or example of the meaning of phrasal verb pick up. Right. And we also have another one, partner. That is workout. Workout. What do you know about the phrasal verb workout?
Look at my body. I mean, I'm always working out.
Really? So
Yeah.
working out is something that is pretty much common, especially these days that people don't go to work, right? I mean, most of them work at home,
Yeah.
right?
To work out. There's something in my mind that comes out. It's something. What if we put it in a relationship? Is it possible for me to use that workout?
That could be. If you want to make things work, right? Can we work things out? Can we work our relationship out, for example?
Ooh.
Right? Do you have a stable relationship, partner?
Yes, I have, because I always work out.
Which one? The body or the relationship?
We have to do both, partner.
Yeah, multitasking is the key.
That's right.
Right. And you know what? There are lots of words that we know, and it's important that we have lots of vocabularies in mind. Why? Because if it's like going in a battle, partner, right? When you go in a battle, you have to have lots of bullets. And when you're talking about English, bullets could be your words.
I agree. You know, I'm thinking of attacking someone through my words.
Okay.
Actually, these phrasal verbs that we have.
Right. So knowing lots of vocabularies can help you have better conversation with someone else, especially when you're talking to native speakers, right? If you're a non-native speaker, it is a must for you to have lots of vocabularies for you to be able to express yourself. One thing that I've noticed from students, partner, is that they have lots of ideas in mind, or they have a good thought in mind, but whenever they are speaking, it seems that everything's get mixed up. Right?
Exactly. And also, one thing that I have noticed is that if you're not that familiar or exposed to these phrasal verbs, it's hard for you to catch up on what is he or she trying to say.
Exactly. So that's another phrasal verb, right? To catch up.
Catch up.
Yes, if you were able to understand what the person is saying, that's definitely catching up, right?
And I'm confident enough that a lot of listeners are aching for these phrasal verbs that we're giving.
Aching. So what does it mean when we say aching for?
Ache for, especially when you are, let's say you extremely want something, or it could be someone. I'm aching for her hugs and kisses.
Okay. That's cool.
Yep.
All right. So see, if you have lots of vocabularies in mind, you won't have difficulty expressing yourself. All right. Do you still have another one on your end, partner?
Well, I'll go back with pass out. I want to drink up.
You want to drink, but it's Monday today.
Yeah.
Perhaps at the end of the week, right? Okay, let's have a recap, partner. So there you have it, listeners and viewers. We talked about the top 3 phrasal verbs that have similar meanings.
Yes, and let me ask you, what's your favorite phrasal verbs? And, well, you can comment down below and tag your friends for them to get involved.
Stay tuned here at BB 101 Radio, and coming up next is Learners Talk It Out.
Cambridge English, also known as ESOL, English for Speakers of Other Languages, is a department of University of Cambridge in which English examinations like Proficiency, CPE, Advanced, CAE, First, FCE, Preliminary, PET, and CAT, KET were being recognized all throughout the world by thousands of employers, universities, and other government ministries as a proof of ability to use English. Improve your life English skills. By preparing for a Cambridge examination, you will develop your communication skills in which you can use for everyday life, work, and study. Together, let us hit the mark.
Welcome back, and you're still listening to BB 101 Radio, the radio of learners. And this is Learners Talk It Out with Shay
and Kervin.
Right, partner, let's talk about this one. Do you think learning English is difficult?
A little bit of yes and a little bit of no. So
Why?
There's no exact answer for me. Why? Well, simply because it depends on someone's eagerness to learn something.
It depends on person's eagerness. Okay. So if I'm going to be a beginner student, let's say I don't have a background when it comes to the language. So if I'm that eager, will there be a possibility for me to master the English language?
The same answer, partner. A little bit of yes and a little bit of no. So we can have it. Well, let's start with the person itself. Of course, if you're eager to learn, it's easy for you to mind or to set your mind for you to learn that or that particular language. Because that's what you are aching for, partner. I'm gonna use the word ache for again.
All right. So to those people who are aching, right?
Aching for,
Yeah,
yes.
aching for improvements, for example, you should try to start it today, right? By listening, by watching, right, partner? So it's more on incorporating different macro skills.
That's right.
And how many languages do you speak?
Oh, how many languages? Let me count, partner. I know Tagalog. I know English. I have two languages.
Two languages.
There are a lot. What about you, partner?
It's gonna be the same for me. I only know two languages, but I want to know another one. How about you? Do you want to know another language?
Yeah, like Spanish. Of course, I want to adopt to how they express themselves,
Exactly.
especially to our listeners.
And it will be easier for you to understand on where they are coming from once you learn their language, right?
Yeah.
I also want to learn Spanish. And I think it's a blessing in disguise that our language is somehow similar to them, right? Or to their language. So,
Really?
yeah. Like, kamusta in Tagalog, it's like, como esta in Spanish.
See,
Exactly. So those words can help us. Let's say whenever you are going to learn something, if you want to learn another language, you should start now. Like, do not live the rest of your life wondering what if, they say.
so do I have to start this lunes?
Yes. Today.
Okay.
You have to start it today, partner. But some people think that, or they have a question in mind, how? How can I start learning the English language? Or a new language, for example. What tip? Yes, partner.
Wait a minute. Is it really me who have to answer all these questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So how to learn a new language? Well, I believe that it always depends on the person, on how is he or she going to practice that, because he or she has an environment. I mean, there are a lot of things or places for us to learn that particular language. Say, for instance, try to search on Google or photo coaches, type English language, say for instance, ESL language. There are a lot of ways, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna find FitsLanguage as one of those tools or academies that will cater us English language.
Exactly. You need a support when it comes to that, partner. And for you to be able to be guided well when it comes to improving your English skills, you have to ask for a support. And definitely a lot of ESL academies can help you with that. And one of that is FitsLanguage, right?
That's right.
Okay. And how did you learn your second language, partner?
I learned it by heart.
By heart?
Yes. Have you heard that kind of expression? You learned something by heart. So you have to put all of your effort, and of course you have to memorize the things, because it's not that easy for you to learn something that it's not by heart.
Exactly. And some of our students are asking, like, why is it some people can learn a language as fast as they can? Some students can learn like 5 to 6 languages, but some cannot learn even one language, like second language, pertaining to second language. So the question is how they can do it, how they're able to learn lots of languages. They say that it could be that they are young, they started at a very young age by learning something new. That could be, right?
I believe so. And as well as being exposed to that particular language.
Exactly.
You know what, when I was young, just to tell you a story, I love copying different accents.
Really? Can you give
Yes.
me a sample, partner?
Oh, damn. You're going to use my talent now. One of the examples is like this: when you change your voice and then you try to copy, you try to be exposed to some of those languages that you want to learn, right?
Okay. So what accent is that, partner?
I don't know. Perhaps it's when you passed out. That's the kind of accent that you're gonna have.
I see. So that's a talent, partner. Whenever you know how to copy someone or an accent, you could be a voice actor, like what you're doing right now.
Really?
Yes.
So you're saying that it's gonna be easy for me to learn new accent?
Yes, it's gonna be easy, I guess. All right. And another thing that I have in mind is whenever I think for me, based on my observation, the thing for you guys to adopt the language is to think using your native language or your target language rather. Instead of using, let's say, you are going to buy something tonight as your dinner or as your lunch. So instead of thinking that using your native language, try to use your target language. With that, you don't need someone to talk to because you're talking to yourself, right? By thinking, what should I do later? Instead of using that in your own language. Have you ever done that?
Oh, wow. I didn't think of that kind of... It's just amazing, partner. Could you please give me some more tips? I mean, to learn
That's the
easier?
only thing that I know, though. Well, when it comes to learning the language, you're going to know lots of things along the way.
Yeah, I just noticed. Are we talking about a speaking part? Because what if I want to improve my writing skills? Like, is it necessary for me to write down those words, for me to, of course, to adopt those words?
Actually, partner, when it comes to that, for me, it's more under retention that writing can help you. And if you want to talk about accuracy, well, writing can definitely help you because with that, you're given the time to think and to organize your thoughts. While in speaking, you are doing it right now. For example, we're talking, right? Or if you are listening and then you're talking to someone else at the moment. So you're doing it real time. While on writing part, you are having the time, or you have the time to gather your thoughts, basically. So my answer is it could be a help, right, for you to be able to master the language. Right. And if you're going to be given the chance, partner, to learn a language, at what specific age would you like to start learning the language? Just for an example.
I believe all of us have to learn while we are young. Yes, we have to learn while we are young because they say that it's not that easy to teach an old dog, a new trick. Do you agree with that kind of expression?
That could be. I can say that I agree at that thing that you have mentioned.
But partner, of course, it doesn't mean that our old students are going to be hard. I mean, having a hard time for them to learn English. Of course, it's not.
And we're gonna go back to the ones that you have mentioned earlier, wherein it depends on the dedication or the dedication of the student, right? If you are dedicated enough to start something new, age will not matter, right? And do you think that watching movies, for example, like say series, can help you improve your English proficiency?
Yes, partner. There are a lot of expressions, just like phrasal verbs, that we learned earlier. So there are lots that you can catch from the series or movies that you want to watch.
Exactly. And if you want to practice that real time, we have lots of ways. For example, webinar, right? Now that we're transitioning to online, so people tend to do lots of things when they're at home. So one thing that you could do to practice your skills and to interact with lots of people, let's say people from your place or people from your country or from different countries, definitely webinar can help you, right?
I'm new to this, partner. What or how webinar can help me improve my English?
Well, partner, if you are going to attend webinar, it is going to help you practice. Let's say it's a fast one. You'll be given 1 hour to be part of a specific session, and you will be given a chance to speak. People will listen to you, and you are going to be evaluated, right? So within that hour, you are going to learn. So for me, it's going to help you improve in a really fast way.
I definitely agree. So I believe that there are a lot of listeners who are interested to our webinars. So FitsLanguage is catering to that, right?
Yeah, I remember it. So FitsLanguage started the webinar series. So perhaps you could catch it up on this side.
You mean
Yes.
here, partner?
Yes, we have a weekly webinar series. So you guys can practice, or you can practice, yes, your conversational skills as well as your speaking skills. Because I believe that people can speak the language. It's just that they don't have the confidence to do it, right?
And webinar will definitely help us be confident with that.
Exactly.
Is that more like a public speaking part?
Exactly. That is the way wherein you're going to have viewers, wherein the group itself is going to be your viewers. So it's not all the time that people are going to listen to you, right? So, and then you're going to be corrected. For me, that's the best way to learn, partner. It's when you are going to be corrected. So, yeah.
Speaking of correction, I have a question for you, partner.
Okay, what's that?
Is being corrected good for someone who's starting to learn new language, especially English?
Indeed, for me, being corrected is one of the most important things because you have to learn the good things. You have to learn the right things, and that is going to happen if someone is going to correct you. That's why if you are going to start a language or learning a new language, you have to have guidance, or what I have mentioned earlier, support from a teacher, could be, right?
You mean from FitsLanguage? example?
Could be. Right. We have lots of teachers, by the way, at FitsLanguage. So, based on your experience as a teacher, because you've been teaching for quite some time already, how do you normally correct your students? And are they positive about the corrections?
Wes, I'm about to say well and yes. Yes.
Wes.
So yes, my answer is yes. The way I correct them is, of course, a holistic approach. I tend to ask how they understand it. And I don't usually give the meaning, partner. I usually ask them to think on how they understand things.
Okay. So, what is the reaction of students when it comes to that kind of corrections?
Woof. That's a common reaction. But of course, their reaction is pretty positive, and because you are going to know how they use this particular language. And most of my correction, technically, I do not focus on what their idea is. I focus on how are they going to express their idea using the English language.
Exactly. How about the usage of grammar? Since we're talking about corrections, do you think that knowing more, or is knowing grammar more important than vocabulary?
Have you noticed my reaction earlier when you said grammar? And I was like, whew. Grammar, they said that grammar is hard, but a lot of students love grammar. So as what we were discussing earlier, it depends on someone's eagerness. Or there are a lot of modules. I believe we offer these intensive course. It depends on how the teacher is going to deliver it. So grammar is pretty important. It is salient. Let me repeat that word.
Okay.
Salient.
Salient.
Yes. Especially for those who are learning specific or the subject-verb agreement, for instance.
Exactly. So both. For me, both as well, right? If someone is going to learn something, you have to have accurate way of expressing yourself, because otherwise people won't understand what you're saying. So even though you have lots of vocabularies with you, if you cannot express it in a really or in a correct way, there is going to be a problem with that. That's why fluency and accuracy should go hand in hand, right?
Boom.
Very.
Now that leads me through the question. Earlier we were talking about fluency because we were talking about public speaking. Now we veered off into grammar. So which do you think is more important, partner? Fluency or accuracy?
Well, I'm gonna go with both, like what I've mentioned, partner. Being able to be fluent and being able to express yourself accurately is one thing. That's one of the most important things in learning a new language. That's the reason why you have to study, right? Buy the book, and then you go ahead, go out of your comfort zone, travel to that specific country and practice it with native speakers.
Wow.
So that's how you're going to learn, right? You have to go out of your comfort zone. You have to try something new right now.
Right now.
Exactly. So learning English is definitely challenging, right? But it's doable.
It is. It is, partner.
Exactly. And it's just like any other languages in the world. It's not just English, but even in other languages, sometimes we find other languages hard or harder to learn. Let's say, what? German language, right? It could be a difficult thing to learn, but it's just in our minds because it's the same.
What about the Russians? The Russian language. I believe it's pretty hard to learn that one.
I haven't heard like a sentence in Russian language, but I think it's really hard to learn, but it's gonna be the same as other languages for me. But when it comes to that, whenever you're going to learn something new, always remember that best speakers were once a beginner, right?
I agree with that. You were once a beginner. But my idea here is don't give up and keep on striving. If you want to practice your skills and move it to the next level, just keep on studying, partner. Yes.
I have to agree with that.
So all you need is guidance from an English teacher.
Right. So are you ready to step out of your game?
Ready.
Right. So comment down below or for us to know your thoughts, right? So interact with us and get involved. So stay tuned to BB 101 Radio for more updates.
Yes. And we will be right back after a short break. Job interview. Job interview is one of the most challenging parts of our lives after graduating in a university. You got trembling knees and nerves, but that's just a usual scenario, and that's reasonable. Your life and your entire career might depend on how you answer questions. Why worry if you can take advantage of our intensive training with our experienced personnel? Here at FitsLanguage.com, we will make sure that you are fully equipped to our proven techniques on how to give your best shot when you are already sitting in front of the HR manager or even the CEO of the company. Make it seamless. Do it smart and confidently. Start with our team at FitsLanguage.com.
Welcome back to the show. You're still listening to BB 101 Radio, the radio of learners.
Yes. So, partner, it has been a fast yet productive day, right?
Exactly.
So, to all the listeners who stayed with us until the end of the show, thank you, and we hope to see you again next time.
Exactly. So visit our social media accounts that you can see on the screen, okay, for you to get notified about the changes or the updates here in our podcast. So I'm Shay.
And I am Kervin.
Goodbye.
Bye.